Usually, it's a tag for an act with just one mainstream hit to its credit, however memorable that hit was.
With a certain I am too sexy for my love.
You're unbelievable.
One hit wonder.
Give the masses left. You like it, don't do it. When you want it gone.
The big hair today, shorn tomorrow.
Often with these one-hit wonders, they package themselves in these insanely goofy ways. And then they go say, oh, but I'm I'm an artiste. I mean, come on, you know. You put on the brightly colored, goofy clothes, you know. I'm sorry, but you're doing it to yourself.
The music industry isn't always interested in a band's follow-up either.
A lot of these bands that
Or like, okay, you're not coming back.
But is being a one-hit wonder really that bad?
it's not as bad.
Rico Suave hit number 7 on the pop charts. Long before
Guayaquil, Ecuador. I lived there till about 12 years old, then came over here.
quickly snagged roles in Can't Buy Me Love and Colors.
There's no future in it, Holmes. Kind of got tired of it, and I said, you know what, put out a record, no matter what. Rico Suave was a song I wrote in one night. I was trying to figure out a version, so what can I, you know how Prince says soft and wet is? Well, Rico means tasty, and Suave means smooth. Rico. Suave. I had the song in a demo. The video I actually shot was all in Spanish. You know, and then of course we did the Spanglish version that went on to MTV.
With a new half Spanish, half English version of the song and the video, Rico Suave started to climb up the chart. Soon, Gerardo was almost indistinguishable from his Rico Suave persona.
You know, that was...
This shit has to do with a female species that eat them raw like sushi. No?
I took it to the extreme. You know, I should have took it somewhere else, but hey, that was me back then. I toured for 2 years, then I did a second album with Interscope.
Remembers the artist behind it. In 1996, Come On Ride the Train was a huge hit for Quad City DJs, who 3 years earlier had just missed their first shot at one-hit wonderdom. Under the name 95 South, the crew recorded a song called Woot, There It Is, but a modified version of the same catchphrase on a tag team track stole Woot's thunder.
Let me hear you say, Woot.
It means just about anything positive. Like if you see a handsome guy, you'll say, woo. If I see a pretty young lady, I say, woo.
And it ended up catching on and catching on and catching on, and everybody, you know, the whole country done gone whoop crazy.
It's just a catchy phrase, and they wrote that catchy phrase.
Love's going to leave. This enormous
Of the Lamb.
I know what you're doing.
I can't make it down, I can't make it down. So get down 2 feet and jump around.
Coming up next, artists whose first single was not only a huge hit, but also their last hit.
Single released in 1995 reached number 2 on the Billboard charts, but my sexually explicit lyrics offended some listeners. I appeared on the soundtrack for The Thin Line Between Love and Hate, but it was on my first album that I revealed the freak in me. The video for my first hit song featured me driving a Mercedes, dancing and grinding on a bed, and was directed by Hype Williams. Who am I?
Adina Howard was just 21 when she rised onto the music scene in 1995 with her She's Gotta Have It hit, Freak Like Me. But being a singer wasn't part of her career plans at first. Rather than walk a beat, she wound up rocking one. She was noticed by the manager of For Sure.
I sang for an a cappella, and about 2 to 3 weeks later, I was in L.A. doing a demo.
Once Adina decided to become a professional singer, there was no stopping her.
I said, I give you this, you have this particular time, you have to this particular date to get me a deal. If you do not get me a deal, forget about it.
Sure enough, she was quickly signed to Mechadon, a subsidiary of Elektra Records, and immediately headed into the studio to record her first album, Do You Want to Ride?
Freak Like Me was based on my personality, on how I am. If he's that type of guy, I'm that type of girl, and we can do it. If he's not, I ain't got time to play games. It's not about a relationship. Just give me something to be on about your business. When I need you again, I'll holler.
Many women related to Adina's sexual frankness.
It's the 90s. I'm an aggressive, strong, confident, secure woman.
If I can help a lot of other females become aggressive and express themselves, then I am more than happy to do so.
A lot of people reacted in a negative manner, but who cares? If I want to be a freak, damn it, I'm going to be a freak all day long.
After Freak Like Me scored, Adina hit the road on the Bad Boys tour, which also featured Notorious B.I.G., Naughty by Nature, Mary J. Blige, Puff Daddy, and Lil' Kim. Before long, Mechadon wanted her back into the studio to record the follow-up to Do You Want to Ride, but Adina wouldn't put up.
At that point, after the first album, I had to go through some major changes. When Freak Like Me took off, I really never thought about it. I was just like, okay, I just love to sing, so let me just go out there and sing.
While Adina was concentrating on her singing, other people were handling her finances.
A bitch ended up broke.
I think the reason why people took advantage of me was because I wanted to be just an artist.
I didn't want to get into the business aspect.
Adina fired her manager and hit the studio, but her record label decided her new tracks were more weak than freak.
My second album, which was called Welcome to Fantasy Island, was done and finished in '97. Never came out, period. I was told that there was not a single on the album. I got very, very angry. And I was going to quit. I had started going back to school. I guess I just thought about it, and I talked to God about it, and basically the answer was do what it is you feel is best for you. And I love to sing, and I think if I didn't sing, I would go crazy. Once I've come out with another album, Freak Like Me is being put away. Right now, I just feel like I need to be me, and there's so much more to me than Freak Like Me. And for me, I'm ready to express that.
There's always been this phenomenon.
Artists never have a second hit, as there are hits. But those performers whose first single is their biggest seem the most likely to experience one-hit wonderdom. Case in point, House of Pain.
Eric had an album out, you know, did his own thing. I had a punk band called the House of Pain. Never really went nowhere. He like, you know, saw it. He was like, yo, that's a good concept. This good, you know, this, that. And it just, you know, it just evolved. Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win. Battle me, that's a sin.
It's a fun song. That's what it's about. That's what hip-hop is about to me, is when it gets you pumped.
It gave the white boys something of their own to enjoy alongside the reggae and hip-hop they were already listening to.
I can't make it down. I can't make it down. So get out your feet and jump around. Jump around. Jump around.
Dumb song.
Jump around.
I guess it's a good dumb song.
Jump up and get down.
House of Pain released 2 more albums after its '92 debut, but its members eventually chose to pursue other projects. Everlast released a platinum solo album in 1998, and his former bandmate DJ Lethal joined another group you may have heard of called Limp Bizkit. Like DJ Lethal and Everlast, singer Dion Ferris also left a successful group to try something different.
The reaction from people when I actually left Arrested Development was, you're crazy, you made a big mistake, you need to apologize, or you need to, you know, beg your way back. I just said I have to do it. You know, I have to make my own kind of way out there in the world. And I just think shit.
Hear a song like that Four Non Blondes song that just curls our teeth, and we're just holding onto the chair, waiting for the song to go away. Sometimes we do pray for one-hit wonders.
That screeching and wailing and yowling.
Did people really like that? Was that really a big hit?
Apparently, yes. But before What's Going On hit #1 in '93, the members of Four Non Blondes had been in a total of 41 other bands. Once they all hooked up, though, their success came quickly.
Piece of cake.
Anyone can do it.
All those bands that make like a big deal about it.
They're lying. They're lying. They're blowing it out of proportion.
I was looking at
Coming up, a hit song on a soundtrack. A bloke. Looks like DJ Stretch Garden Band, who notched a minor hit in '92 with That's Just the Way It Is, Baby. But no one could have predicted what would happen after the band agreed to record the theme song for a sitcom pilot called Friends.
It was kind of, exciting to hear ourselves on TV every time the show was on, and then it just exploded.
The show's popularity helped the Rembrandts move more than 1 million copies of their album LP.
I think even the cast of Friends doesn't like that song. Isn't that true? Haven't a few of them said in interviews, we can't listen to that song anymore.
When I wake up.
Album since. When we come back, which of these rappers got his name after watching a Sir Lancelot special on PBS?
I wish I was a little bit taller.
I swing my beach at the playground, you know?
Shake that healthy butt. And it keep boom boom down.
Coming up, we revisit some of rap's funniest and most controversial one-hit wonders.
Hello?
The DJ, turntables, synthesizers, that's where I got my tag, and also watching Sir Lancelot on PBS. In 1992, I released a song that made the ladies with the healthy backsides happy. I'm currently involved with an alternative band called the Presidents of the United States of America. We've come together to form a new group called Subset. What's my name?
Baby got back, 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 back. Baby got back.
Seattle Sir Mix-a-Lot had seen his first 2 records go gold, but his cheeky ode to the hipper-than-thou sprung his 3rd album, Mac Daddy, onto the pop charts and had America begging for a piece of that bubble.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. All your other brothers can't deny. And when a girl walks in with an itty-bitty waist and a rap, they get your face you get.
That song is awesome. From Seattle, too, so you gotta love it. Butts are fun to watch, what do we got against butts?
So many women I know love that song. Sure, it's objectifying women, but at least it's welcoming a different kind of body shape.
Women never came to me and said that song was offensive. Most women said about time. Forever groups like Warrant, and you see videos of these little waist girls walking around like nobody called that degrading, but as soon as I say I prefer to have this, it's all of a sudden sexist.
The turning point may have come when MTV asserted that the Baby Got Back video needed special attention.
We're sitting in a meeting in Los Angeles. I never will forget it. We're meeting with Polygram, and they said, so how does it feel to be banned? I'm like, what did I get banned from? Am I kicked out of the restaurant? What? MTV banned your video today. And I immediately went into the sad face, and they were like, cool, we'll milk this. And that's when I knew. I said, man, I have arrived.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
The video wasn't actually banned. It was restricted to after-hours time slots. And in '92, Baby Got Back rum-shaked its way to number 1.
I was number 1. That scared the hell out of me because there was no number 0. So I knew then there's no place to go but down. I don't care who you are, how big you get. When you hit number 1, the first thing you start thinking about is your next record. Because you're coming down after that.
Trying not to hit bottom, Mix-a-Lot stuck to his career formula.
I tried to recreate the success of Baby Got Back, which you should never do.
Get him on camera.
Everybody else was doing it, which is why I knew I shouldn't have done it. You had these rump shakers and booty this and pop that Daisy Duke. Everybody was booty crazy. So I knew, I said I shouldn't do this. And I did it one more time. Just to kind of, I guess, squeeze the sponge dry, so to speak.
Mix-a-Lot went on to record 2 more albums, Chief Putnaka in '94 and Return of the Bumpasaurus in '96. Neither of which backed that thing up like Mac Daddy.
The record label and I were kind of falling out. We just didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, so we ended up going separate ways.
In January of 1999, Mix-a-Lot hooked up with fellow Seattle musicians, the Presidents of the United States. No stranger to novelty Hitsville, thanks to Peaches.
I'm moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches.
And Lump.
She might be dead.
Jaded by the music industry, the Presidents had quit the business in '97.
We got a phone call from a very important man, Mr. A Lot, and inviting us to dinner. And I was like, I guess it's dinner. And I didn't know what we'd have in common. It was kind of an interesting proposition.
We just started talking about the business and what we thought about it, what we had been through, why they retired, why they're happy that they did so. And we did a song together about that subject called Addicted to the Fame. and it felt good.
The trio got together at Sir Mix-a-Lot's home recording studio to record their first album as the alterna-rap group Subset.
They're serious musicians, and now they get a chance to do that. So they don't have to be the presidents, and I don't have to be Mix-a-Lot. We can just come together as one.
Kicked right in the brain, but we come bouncing off the floor. You take a bite out of my mind, you'll find it's rotten to the core.
Sir Mix-a-Lot is back with a new sound. But will he be able to shake his Twin Cheeks image?
I am a Jennifer Lopez fan, okay? Let it be known the bump is bomb.
Hip-hop has always had an image-savvy fan base with the shortest of attention spans, and that's made the genre a breeding ground for artists with big hits and tiny careers.
The audience for hip-hop, an audience that seems to really crave novelty, is really only now showing loyalty to groups over time, you know, whether it's the Wu-Tang Clan or something like that.
Because it's easier to just get up there and make a cute little song people can bounce to. It's harder to make an entire album that somebody's going to want to sit and listen to and be happy with.
Such acts served up music to party to, carefree alternatives to the gritty realities of gangster rap. And just like Sir Mix-a-Lot, turned out to be a lot of fun-hit wonders.
We go to a party, we watching, we just notice all of the girls are shaking their rump as they dance, but they don't even realize it.
And the guys are zooming.
You guys are zooming.
Guys are zooming on that rump.
So yeah, I mean, let's do a Shake Your Rump song.
Rex and Effect's Booty Love track was spanked by critics a bit on its way to #1 in '92.
I think for anybody to really be offended by it, it's just sort of silly. The video was nothing but a typical day on the beach.
Rex and Effect resurfaced in '96 with the album Rap's New Generation. They weren't, and have since disbanded. Hip-hop prodigy Teddy Riley, on the other hand, who had previously worked with the likes of Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat, has continued to work with such artists as Michael Jackson, MC Hammer, and Jay-Z, and achieved success with his own group Blackstreet. After the success of all those butt songs, clearly it was time for the women to get behind an anthem.
What you say, we get to know each other better.
That sounds good, but I don't think that I can action.
I don't know, tell me, is it so? Do you get a kick out of telling brothers no?
No, it's not that, so you don't understand. I said I'll put it, I got a man.
With I Got a Man, female fans tired of getting hit on by the fellas had a dance floor track they could call their own.
That was the anthem. That was little stupid boys at school coming up to you saying whatever, like, I got a man.
Well, it's the case of boy meets girl, boy wants girl, and a boy can't get girl.
I got a man.
What's your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I'm not trying to hear that shit.
I wanted to try something different. Always wanted to create a visual, you know, to my music. I think a lot of rappers out there just, you know, they jump in front of videos and the song just doesn't connect, you know, like, what's the purpose?
Positive K couldn't couple up with his lady in this song, but he scored as a single, hitting #13 in '93. Shorties of a different stripe were responsible for some of-the-moment hits and fashion trends of the '90s, like Baby Got Backwards, Kid Rapper's Criss Cross.
They were the embodiment of the one-hit wonder. They were the physical manifestation of something that was going to be here and gone.
Could I wear my clothes in the back? Yes. No. One time. Don't hold it against me.
Imagine how hard it was getting your clothing backwards, buttoning the shirt like this, unzipping the pants, going to the bathroom, what a problem. But to do it just to have, like, something to offer, that's a bad sign already if your biggest contribution is you wear your clothing backwards.
Criss Cross, who claimed to have started the backwards clothing trend, got their garanimals in a wad over another bad creation, who they referred to as another bad little fad in Jump.
I swing my beach at the playground, you know?
Hard as it might be to imagine, ABC also wanted to take credit for the fly in the back craze.
Back when we did our videos and everything, we had our clothes on backwards, right? And now they got their clothes on backwards now. So it really, I mean, we was wearing it before they was.
Fellas, please! Before the Diss Fest could really get going, everyone's career was over. ABC parted ways with its manager and producer at Motown Records, Michael Bivins of Belle Biv DeVoe and New Edition. And they haven't been heard from since.
baller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her.
Another pint-sized rapper wished he was taller, but instead scored a big hit.
Like high school and stuff, there's this one particular girl, Leoshi. She always liked the jocks, the basketball players, football players. Wouldn't give me the time of day because I couldn't play either or, you know. I went out for the basketball team. My legs were too small. My hands were too small. I went out for football. I wound up getting knocked all over the field. Pretty soon I just said, forget it. And the song I wrote about her back then became a hit single for me now. So it's all good. We're good friends now, and that's all that really counts. It can happen to you.
Skee-Lo measured up on the Money Train soundtrack and the Schoolhouse Rock CD, but since then, his career has shorted out. The early 90s saw rap fusing with other styles of music, and fans were eager to listen.
Check it out, man. I groove like that. I'm smooth like that. I jive like that. I roll like that.
Yeah, I'm thick like that. I stack like that. I'm down like that. I'm black like that.
Well, yo, I funk like that. I'm fat like that. I'm in like that because I swing like that. We jazz like that. We freak like that. We zoom like that. We out. We out.
They had the whole jazz style. They were bringing back the like kind of even blues thing on some of the track on their album, some of the tracks on the album, and they had a nice vibe. You know, that was kind of like when people were mellowing out.
The Rebirth of Slick is just, it's like giving homage to like jazz days, like the bebop days in the 40s and 50s, and it's paralleling the jazz culture with the hip-hop culture. Same atmosphere that created jazz also created hip-hop.
If Crisscross ABC and Skee-Lo had one-hit wonder written all over them, Diggable Planets looked as if they could go the distance.
A lot of critics, particularly white critics, really embraced them because they offered a more supposedly positive style of hip-hop.
They seemed actually really promising. I wouldn't have pegged them as a one-hit wonder at all. Like they really sounded like they were going to be cool, and then nothing.
Then when they made a more militantly Afrocentric record for their next album, they didn't have the same cred with the same people.
Yeah, yeah.
Another New York City rap group, Black Sheep, went another direction, infusing rap with other styles of music.
Our style was basically, a lot of people think jazz, not rock. We use a lot of rock loops.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. Or you can get with this, where it's at.
The Choice Is Yours scored big on the R&B and pop charts back in '91 and converted a lot of rapaphobes into fans.
People have told me, yo, I don't even really like rap, but I like your group. You know, I'm not really into rap, but your group is all right with me. And that's cool, you know, because that's broader than us, that's broader than them, and it's helping rap.
Black Sheep went on to work with other artists, but never notched another hit of their own. Frontman Drez released a solo album earlier this year.
Be the epitome, do, da, dippity. Come with a nice young lady.
With street cred an essential part of hip-hop success, white rappers in the 90s certainly had something to prove to skeptical record buyers.
And then he was really copying a more West Indian dance hall style.
Everyone would try to sing along too.
I couldn't understand a word that boy was saying through the whole thing, but it was a nice beat.
Noah went on to record 2 more albums, each of them blowtorched by critics.
He just didn't really have that much to offer as an artist, unfortunately. So beyond that one neat little parlor trick, we can say the snow melted.
Anti-pop rap activist Third Base had a moderate hit with the Gas Face, but brought it home big time with Pop Goes the Weasel, in which they took shots at Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer.
What we did in Pop Goes the Weasel was we played ourselves. We put ourselves in that format and in that formula that people think is success. And we played them. And we made them look buffoon-like. Searching out like the surgeons of rap. Removing the cancerous... Trying to remove the cancerous sore. The canker sore. The festering sore. I don't even want to give the kid the respect of saying his name on television.
Third Base gained respect among the rap industry, broke up in '92. MC Search and Pete Nice recently reunited and performed at Woodstock 99. When we come back, which of these bands covered a Harry Chapin song?
When you're coming home, son, I don't know when. We'll get together then.
the band broke up in '97, and they all moved on to join other acts.
Now maybe did I mean to treat you bad, yeah.
Another one-hit wonder rock band, Candlebox, had to battle for acceptance in the cred-obsessed Seattle grunge scene.
Candlebox used to just get, they were really popular at first, like songs, but I think after like the second one, they used to take a lot of heat. You know, DJs used to just, after a while, you could listen to Jed the Fish on K-Rock after just short, like 6 months, just going, Candle!
Being part of Seattle's burgeoning music scene in the early 90s proved beneficial to the band.
I mean, Seattle's real supportive of local music. That's how all the bands, you know, pretty much
stands to sell any records. So if somebody wants to buy their records, I mean, I think they're just like, okay, go ahead and buy it. That would be cool. Just make things easier, I guess. They won't have to work at 7-Eleven anymore.
We're with Public Enemy.
That's your boyfriend, he was on last night. I wanna do the tunnel like it's busy till I'm busy. Never back to do your 50 cause the guard gets busy.
Coming up, some of the best connected one-hit wonders.
The song which put my group on the map was about a particular beverage that I cannot stomach. I work with Primus, Anthrax, Public Enemy, the late great Notorious B.I.G., and DJ Funkmaster Flex. Currently my sounds make people groove around the globe all at the same time. Who am I?
1993, a hardcore group of white teenagers, brought together by Hank Shockley, one of the brains behind Public Enemy, burst onto the scene as the Young Black Teenagers.
We wanted to make a statement, and at the time it was still not really cool to be white and to be down with hip-hop, and we were trying to show that it didn't make a difference what color you are.
Public Enemy's support of the Young Black Teenagers gave their music, and their controversial name, bulletproof props in the hip-hop world.
We had like the most revolutionary group of all time backing us, you know, so people were taken by that, and the name started to fade like it didn't make a difference anymore.
Half the Bottle, the hit song that pushed them into the spotlight, had a most banal beginning.
When you get a 40 at the time, you tap it, you know, everybody tapped it before you opened it. So that's how the song started to come about. Let's do a wreck, half the bottle, twist the tap. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that'd be dope.
But this lager-loving track aside, at least one Young Black teenager was no beer hunter.
I'll let something out of the bag. I used to do a routine on stage where I drink a 40, and it says crack a 40 ounce. Every time most people saw me do that trick, it was apple juice. Swear to God, because I cannot stand beer. I hate it. It's gross.
But after Tap the Bottle, things went stale for the Young Black Teenagers.
We had business problems that took the group apart, and maybe we would have had another good record if we had the right people guiding our careers at the time. But we didn't.
In '94, DJ Scribble left the Young Black Teenagers and set out on his own.
I just buried myself into the clubs and into college radio. I DJ'd for Artifacts, I DJ'd for Biggie, I DJ'd for Craig Mack, I DJ'd for this one, that one. I remember doing shows with Biggie when Bad Boy was Little Boy.
We're gonna kick it off right now. DJ Scribble on 1 and 2.
I ended up on, finally, thank the Lord, on with you know, Dre and Ed. And Dre kind of picked me up, and you know, I did a couple of shows on the MTV Raps.
Scribble seems to have found a home here at MTV, as he's been the resident DJ on Spring Break, The Daily Burn, MTV Jams, and currently Global Groove.
I get to play hip-hop, I get to play the dance music, and it's under one show in all these different locations, and people get to see that, and that's like, it's crazy. I mean, you're going to have people in Greece and people in London dancing to me in New York. I'm not going to tell you how we do it, but that's, it's, you know, it's amazing.
Many one-hit wonders avoid utter music biz oblivion by working their contacts and getting jobs in the industry as producers, writers, or guest artists. Even a song with a short shelf life can be the start of a long, prosperous career. For example, while DJing at New York's Hot 97 radio station, Scribble shared the airwaves with Funkmaster Flex. Flex got his groove on with Nothing But Flavor. One of Flex's guests on that track also turned out to be something of a one-hit wonder, thanks to this 1990 jam.
I tried to make rap records
But no matter what I did, everybody thought it was funny.
The success of Just a Friend gave Biz the ability to choose his career path.
I don't want to do no more records. I just want to go into producing.
MTV, rock the house. MTV, rock the house. Set up.
Besides producing, Biz has served as guest rapper for a host of artists, most notably the Beastie Boys, most recently Len. His tracks have been covered by such stars as Snoop Dogg with The Vapors, and Rozelle with Make the Music 2000. Backing vocals on that track were done by none other than the well-connected Michelle Indegiacello, who in 1993 had a hit of her own with If That's Your Boyfriend, He Wasn't Last Night.
You say that's your boyfriend, you say I'm out of line. Funny, he said I could call him up anytime. You could call me wrong, say that I ain't right, but if that's your boyfriend, he wasn't last night.
I started getting involved with this guy, and I did not know anything.
Weren't concerned with politics, just with having a good time.
We were interested in having a good time, but if the gigs didn't flow and it wouldn't really worry us, then we got to like the fourth gig and then EMI signed us, and then it just all went like downhill, really.
You're unbelievable.
Those three chords, C, F, and G, or whatever.